I hope my screen is visible now. Okay, my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Great. Fine. So before starting the session, I would like to ask, is there any question from your end you want to ask, like any query, any questions? Did you get chance to go through the recordings and lectures? Okay.
No, I haven't had time to go through.
Okay, great. So do you have any question, like whatever we discussed from past two classes, do you have any question?
I actually don't have any right now.
Great. Okay. So almost 70-80% topics we have already covered. So we started with discussing what exactly the software is and how we can maintain the quality, and in terms of error, bugs and failure, how we can ensure there are less number of errors, bugs or failures, and if the counts are very less, we can say our quality has been maintained, and what exactly the SDLC model is, and then we saw what is difference between QA and QC, and different types of testing uh, we saw in our further classes, and different types of documents which we use in our day-to-day testing life. We saw what is test data, what is use case, what is test scenarios, test plan, and all. Priority and severity we had started in our last class, and we saw three examples, and that was the high severity, high priority, high severity, and low priority, low severity, high priority, and low severity, low priority. I think one example I was pending with, and that was high severity, low priority. So before that, Oka, you are aware what was the example of high severity, high priority we discussed in our last class?
Say that again, please.
So can you give me one example of high severity, high priority bug?
High severity, high priority. I would say I would say an e-commerce website. Um, I'm not able to add items to the cart,
Great,
so
great,
I can't check out from the cart. So I
great.
would
Same
call that.
example we discussed, correct?
Sorry?
Yeah, same example we discussed in our last class, correct?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So today we'll start with our pending part, like high severity, low priority bug. And in terms of high severity, high priority, whatever you said, shopping cart example, which we discussed in our last class, and low severity, high priority bug was related to our ATM machine, where the message was populating on the screen was not correct. Low severity, low priority bug we saw terms and condition, we can avoid the small number of word checks, like if there is some mistakes or some spelling mistakes are available, we can just avoid it, and we can postpone that work for the next release. And now the pending example is high severity and low priority. So high severity, low priority bug, like if suppose uh, as example, if suppose you have an application where you are trying to book the flight tickets, or like any tickets, if you want to travel from one place to another, there is one section where you can add the insurance amount, like if you are traveling and if something wrong happened, and government will provide some kind of insurance, like you can add amount there, that will be very less amount which you can add while booking your uh, flight and all. And suppose that option you are getting by booking the ticket, and from past few days that option is not coming, means you are able to fill your details uh, during booking, but that checkbox is not enabled where you can just check the insurance part and can add some more amount, and that is not activated from past 3 4 days, and it was working earlier but somehow it is not working now. So again, like whenever some issue used to come, what exactly we need to think like what exactly this application is and what is the purpose of this application. So as I said, you are trying to book the ticket to travel one place to another place. So the main purpose of that application will be like you should able to book your ticket, because that is only the main functionality or the business need for that application, right? If you are able to book the ticket, that means that the bug which will come in between will not be having the kind of blocker or the critical might occur, but blocker bug will not come, because anyhow you are able to book the ticket, but you are not able to add some insurance amount. You are not able to mark that checkbox because that option is not activated and there is some issue. So again, since that option is coming while booking the ticket, which is the major, which is the critical part or which is the important part of that application, the bug will come as a high severity, but that will not impact the functionality much. Still, you are able to book the ticket with the help of your details. So we can keep that bug as a low priority bug. High severity means it is coming in between our booking flow journey. So booking is nothing but the critical feature for which that application is built. So that bug is the high severity, means it might impact the business because people want to add that insurance amount and they are not able to add. Low priority means developer can fix it later, because anyhow there are less number of people who always want to add this kind of amount. If that amount is not addable, still they will be able to do the successful booking. So the high severity, low priority bug, you can say like the insurance amount, the traveling insurance amount you want to add, during your booking, like any kind of booking. If you are doing, you are assuming that options will be there, and if an option is not activated, you can mark that kind of bug as a high severity, low priority bug. So now we have completed our priority and severity concept. All four types of severity priority examples we have seen. Great. So now we'll quickly move to the next topic. Okay, great. Well, so as of now, we have seen like SDLC process where developer used to start the development using some process, and that and that process is nothing but the SDLC, software development life cycle. Similarly, if you are testing the application, for you there will be one step-by-step process, that is nothing but the SDLC process, software testing life cycle. And while filing the bug also, there is certain process which as a tester you have to follow. Okay, we can't blindly raise the bug and assign it to the developer. There is the proper process, proper status we have to maintain, and if we are following that stages or that steps, then only a proper bug life cycle we are maintaining, and that is very important for a tester. So how in an industry, how we are performing this bug tracking while start from top, from the starting the logging bugs, and from there to closing the bug, what are all steps we are following, we are gonna see here. So as you can see here, we start with the status news. So whenever you are encountering a bug, suppose again I will take the example of the Gmail application. If you have encountered any bug, and suppose login page is taking the user ID and password, but after that you are not landing on the home page. So at that time you want to log1 defect. So while raising the defect, what you will do, you have to enter all the details of the bugs. So in terms of details, what you will be adding, I'll just uh, okay, I'll write down here. I hope this paint screen is visible. I'm just gonna type here. So here I'm typing like what are all the points is required while filing the issue. So you need assignee and then priority, then labels, then reporter, attachment, description, and again you can here either labels or you can say tag. Okay, see, so here like these are all few points which is required to be added while raising the bug. We these points needs to be remembered. Why? Because these are all important points. But before the when the tools was not invented and we were trying to add these bugs in the Excel sheet, that time it was very difficult because if we are missing any point, it's very difficult to track. But nowadays tools are available, we can use any tool, and these points you will be able to see there. So I will be describing these points using one application, that is Jira. So there you will be able to see all these points are already inbuilt, and once you will create the bug, you will be able to see these points and you can mention your description, you can add the attachment, and this label and tags also you can add. What exactly it is, I will be discussing while going through the tab. Priority also you can mark, and the priority and better to say severity as well you can mark there. And this assignee and reporter. So assignee no need to mark because assignee is nothing but the you only, because sorry, reporter is nothing but you only, where you will be creating the bug. Assignee means the developer name, you can mark it there. So we'll describe like how the process will be. So here, once you are creating the bug, you are adding the details of the bug and all the points which I have discussed. Now if you are mentioning, and the you will hit on the create option and the bug will be logged or your defect will be created. So that time, once the defect is created, the tag or the status of the bug will be new, because that bug is created now and no one has picked that bug as of now, because just now you have created one bug. So while creating the bug, suppose you are not aware with the team, or the dev who has worked on this application, on this module, and who is still working on this module, you are not aware. So what you will do, you will not assign that this bug to the any developer, you will just create the bug, and your lead or your manager will be taking care of that bug, because manager will be interacting with the different team members and he might aware like who exactly worked on this module from the dev side, or he will be awareing like who is the like dev manager, so that he can directly assign that bug to the dev manager. So the second point is like assigned, means your manager will or your lead will take care of that bug, will go through the bug. If the bug is valid, that means if you have not missed anything inside that bug, it is going to assign to the either directly to the developer or to the developer manager. Now that if suppose if it is assigned to the developer manager will go and check, or the lead of the developer will go and check like who is the like person who has worked in this specific module, and he will assign that bug to that dev. Okay, so suppose you have created the bug with the help of new tag, and sorry, with the this new tag you no need to mention. Once you will create the bug, this new tag automatically will be getting added, and the below tags you have to mention. So assign tag will come once the developer will gonna like pick that bug, or the developer manager is gonna assign the bug to the specific dev. Now the bug is assigned to the developer. Now the developer responsibility is to work on that specific bug. Just 1 minute, guys. I'm getting one call. 1 minute. Yeah. So, fine. So yeah, so once developer has picked the bug and developer has started checking the bug, the status will become as a open. Open in the sense like if that bug is in open state, as a tester you will come to know, okay, this bug has been like picked by the developer. Now developer responsibility is go through the bug and check the different the aspects of that bug, like whether its bug is applicable, or bug is like valid, or this bug is duplicate, or whether he want to start fixing this bug. So before that multiple checks he will be doing. So suppose he came to know like this bug is already logged by the some other tester and this is a duplicate bug. They can directly mark the status as a duplicate, and he or she can like stop logging that bug, because once the developer will mark this bug as a duplicate, that means they are not gonna pick this bug. This bug is already logged and it has been picked. Okay. And what might scenario like when this bug might come like duplicate, because obviously if you are only the tester and you are logging the bug, definitely you will be aware which bug you have logged. So how come this bug might like this kind of scenario occurred? So I will take one example here. So suppose you are working in a login feature. So login is not happening properly. After giving the proper user ID and password, you are not able to land on the home page. There is some issue while logging, and that bug you have logged already, and you have assigned with the login module. So one tester is assigned with the login module, and let me just write it down here. So what I want to yeah, so what I want to say here, suppose tester one has assigned with the login module. Okay. And tester two assigned with a compose module. So here I'm taking the example of Gmail application. Okay. So in the login module, you found like there is one bug, login is not happening properly, and tester one has already logged this bug. And again, like tester 2 started testing with this compose module, but before that, what is prerequisite? Prerequisite will be like tester 2 also have to log in, means that tester 2 also means have to use the correct credential and have to log in, and then only can start with this compose module testing, right? So while doing the this activity, again tester 2 also will come to know like login is not working, and obviously tester 1 and 2 both are working on the different modules. Tester 2 also might log the same defect, because again he or she is also not able to log in properly, and because of that compose testing is blocked. So in that case, like tester 1 is already raised one bug, and tester 2 again testing the compose feature, and that time he or she checked like login is not working, and one more bug is filed with the same tag and for same kind of module. So in that way, like the two uh, two or more than one bugs occurred, or the testers of different modules might encounter the the same kind of bug and logged. So in that way, what might happen, like you will be having more than one defects, and developer because see tester will be different, because different testers are testing the different modules, but again the developer for that module will be same, right? Because one developer has worked for that particular feature. So that developer, so same bug will be assigned to the developers, and both the bugs will be assigned to the same developer, and developer will come to know like, okay, this bug has already raised by one tester, and again this is the duplicate one. That time he can directly mark that bug as a duplicate. Okay. Second scenario, once going through the bug, developer can mark it as a rejected also, because when this scenario might occur, rejected in the sense that bug is not valid. So the developer came to know like this bug is not valid, and we can easily rejected this bug. So take one more example, like when this kind of scenario when this kind of scenario might occur. Suppose you have a feature of sending the mail through your Gmail application. Okay, and you are sending the mail again, whenever I'm giving the example of this Gmail application, make sure like you are not taking this example as like you are aware with this application. Just take it like you are not aware about this application. This is something which is getting developed first time. Okay, so in that way, because if I will give some example and if it is not feasible, you will think like, okay, this is not feasible because we are already known by this application. So not think in that way. Just take this example as like you are the tester, and this application is getting developed first time and you are getting this application to test. Okay, so what if like this application is getting used to send the messages to your colleagues, to your friends, and while sending the application, the requirement is like this application should be sent and checked in the sandbox like application is properly sent or not. Okay, this is the requirement. And it might happen like if there is a multiple requirements, people might forget like few requirements in between. Okay, and the lack of understanding is also matters here, because if your requirement is clear, but you are not able to recall during the testing, and if you have missed something, definitely you will be testing based on whatever test cases you have written. And if your requirement is not clear, that time you might miss something. So your requirement was send the item and check in the send the message and check in the sandbox where that message is appearing or not. But as a tester, what you have assumed, I have to send the message and check in the draft whether that application is coming there or not. Again, this message should go to the sandbox, but your assumption is like your requirement, as per your requirement, it should go to the sandbox, but as per your understanding, you are checking in the draft. So again, your steps, reproducible steps which you will be mentioning in while filing the bug will be wrong, because your steps will be send the message and click on the draft and check the same message is there or not. While going through this steps, developer will come to know your understanding is wrong and this is not the valid bug, because obviously the message should not be there in the draft, it should be there in the sandbox. So he or she can reject this bug then and there. So this kind of activity happens like when the understanding is not clear. So that time developer can mark this bug as a rejected. Now third one is the deferred bug. So deferred bug is something like which can be taken care in the next release. Like sometime what happens, like a developer might have the multiple bugs, and it is very important to fix the critical and blocker bugs first, and they are engaged with the fixing those kind of issues, and they are not getting time to fix the minor bugs or the bugs which is not going to impact much in the business. That kind of bugs can easily be transferred to the next release. Okay, but the condition is like developer can't blindly move any bug to the next release. There should be proper justification, like if the bugs numbers or the bugs counts are more, and if he or she is not able to fix it because of less bandwidth, then only they can mark this bug as a deferred, or they can move this bug to the next release. If the bandwidth is available, then this bug should be fixed in the same release, whether it's a minor bug or the major bug. And again, fourth one is not a bug. Like not a bug, it's same kind of bug, like they can mark the invalid or reject bug, or this kind of status you can find in the Jira tool also, but make sure like these status are not something which you will be getting in every company, because the Jira tool or any tool which companies are using to log defects is something which company can customize. Like some companies might add some more status in between. Some companies uh, might reduce the number of statuses in the in the company, or while filing the issues. That doesn't mean like this is something which every company must have to follow. Again, in agile, everything is like everything can be customized, and they can use only the statuses they want to be added in the tool. Okay, so it's not something which is fixed, but you should know each and every terminology, so that if they are using some different naming convention also, and suppose if they are not using few steps and they are using some other, the statuses, they should come to means you should come to know like, okay, what exactly the meaning of this status is. So not a bug, again, if you will take one example, like here again, like these kind of issues comes once your understanding is not clear on the requirement. So suppose again the lack of understanding here, like you are sending the email, and the requirement is like send the email and check in the inbox. So when this kind of scenario will happen, like if you are sending the email and if you are mentioning your email ID to the to section, then only it will happen like you are getting the mail in your inbox. But suppose if while sending the mail, if you are giving the some other user's email ID, it will go to their inbox. Okay, so here understanding was not clear, and what you are doing, you are sending the mail and you are trying to check in your inbox, and that and here what you did, you are not adding your email ID. Why instead of adding your email ID, you are adding your friend's email ID, and again you are checking in your inbox like whether I'm getting the mail or not. But what is happening, like mail is not coming properly in your inbox. And the reproducible step was like, here what you have mentioned in the steps, step was like login with valid credential, and again write email with subject enter mail ID under two section, and mail. Okay, so here what you have mentioned the steps. After reading these steps again, developer will not come to know which email ID you are adding under the two section. So here the confusion is, even this reproducible steps are like steps are correct. You are mentioning everything correct, but you have not mentioned data here. So you have not mentioned which email ID you have used while sending the mail. So in that way, developer might get confused, like your steps are correct, means your observation is correct, but still you are not getting the mail. So how it's possible? But while while following these steps, they are getting messages because they are using this two section email ID as his or her own email ID, but you are giving your friend's email ID. So since there was data missing, they might get confused, and since it is not reproducible from their end, and they are able to see that, they can mark this bug not a bug, because definitely if they are able to reproduce this bug, sorry, they are not able to reproduce that bug, this is not, they are not going to fix it, because fixing in the sense like there should be some issue. So in that kind of bug, they can mark as a not a bug, okay, or not reproducible. Okay, so that's why as a tester, it's very important, if you are logging bugs, make sure like each and everything you are mentioning, like which environment you have tested, which browser you have used, what is the test data and all, everything you should mention clearly. And attachment also, it's one of the good thing if you are adding in your bug while filing it. So in that way, developer can ensure like, okay, this is the issue which happened while testing. Okay, so these all stages, and these all stages came once developer has started looking into the bug. So during that time, they can mark it as a duplicate, rejected, and default, or not a bug. But suppose if that bug is valid, everything which you have mentioned is correct, then what they will do, they will start fixing that bug. They will not mark these statuses, they will start fixing that bug, and that time the status will become as a in progress. Okay, so this open is nothing but, in some of the companies, as I said, like it's not mandatory, every company must follow the same the stages or same bug stage. So what they can do, they can use whatever convenient terms they want to use. So they can, some companies will be using here in progress. So instead of open, there will be the status like in progress. It means developer has already started looking into this bug. Okay, and once they have started looking into the bug and the bug is valid and they are fixing this bug, once that bug is fixed, it will become as a fixed, means the status of that bug will become as a fixed. So it means that bug is fixed. So how tester will come to know this bug is fixed or not? Because in here, what I said, we have a assignee name, we have a reporter name. Okay, so if any bug you are logging, so reporter name will be your name, like suppose tester one, and assignee name will be the dev name, dev one. So while filing the bugs, these are all things we have to mention. Once that bug is fixed, what developer will do, developer will change this assignee name to your name. So again, so here as a, here tester one will be added here as a assignee. So what will happen here, once the assignee gets changed as a tester one, you will get one mail notification like, hey, this bug is assigned to you. So you can open that bug and you can check like this bug is fixed now. It's your responsibility to go and retest it. Okay, so now while retesting it, some companies make this like keep the status like retest or pending retest, or some companies will not keep this status directly fixed to close. Okay, so here if the bug is fixed, it will be marked as fixed. As a tester, you will start retesting it, you will pick that bug and start retesting whether that bug is again occurring or not. So at that time, what you will do, you will retest it and you will mark it as like a verified. So verified in the sense sorry, so verified in the sense you have 1 minute, guys. Yeah, sorry. So verified in the sense you have retested that bug and that bug is no more reproducible, like that bug is fixed. That time you can mark it as a verified. But suppose that bug is still reproducible, like testers has fixed that, sorry, developer has fixed that bug, and as a tester while retesting that bug, you came to know like, no, this bug is still reproducible. So at that time, what you can mark that bug as a reopened, and you can again assign it to the same developer. Okay, so at the first time you were not aware who is the developer. That time what you did, you have assigned this bug to your lead or your manager, and from there it got assigned to the dev. But here while retesting it, now you are aware who is the dev, because obviously once it will assign to you, you will come to know in the logs like who has picked it and who has worked on this feature. And you can again, if this bug is still reproducible, you can again reassign it to the same developer, saying like this bug is still reproducible, and make sure whatever your observation is, you should mention in a description and Your attachment also you should add again if it is reproducible. And if it is again, if it is reproducible, it will go to the reopened state. Developer will pick again, same cycle will again happen, like open, then again it will fix, then again it will assign to the tester, and this cycle will be again going further. But if it is fixed, again you can mark it as verified, and once it is verified, these bugs will be closed. Like either you can close this bug, or all the verified bugs, like your lead or your manager will directly close it at the end of this sprint. Okay, so this is the bug life cycle which actually happens, and it starts once start with your the filing bug activity, and it goes till end, and the end phase is like closed bug. So as a tester, this activity happens like almost every day, and make sure like you are aware with each and every stages. Okay, so now whatever I discuss, you can see here like what are all stages mentioned in this screenshot. You will be seeing here like I'll read quickly. The new in the sense like when a new defect is logged and posted for a first time, again it is assigned a status as a new. As I said, like first time created bug will be in the status of new. Assigned means once the bug is posted to the tester, the lead of the tester proves the bugs and assign the bug to the developer team. Okay. Open in the sense the developer starts analyzing and work on the defect fix. Okay. So these are all like plain English. You can also understand anyhow this PPT is shared with you. You can go through, and anywhere if you are feeling like difficulty or getting stuck, you can just let me know. Okay. So I'll move to the next slide. Like next topic is RTM. So RTM, as I discussed in my first class, like RTM is nothing but the requirement traceability matrix. What it does, like suppose if you have the requirements, you have a multiple requirements, and you have started writing the test cases uh, based on the requirement. So what happens like once the requirement gets converted into the SRS, and from there it will convert to the low level design or high level design. As a developer, development will start, and developer will start writing the cases, and tester will again start writing the test cases. And sorry, developer will start writing the code for the specific module, and tester will start writing the test cases. So that time what might happen is like there will be the thousands of requirements, and it's difficult to maintain like which modules you have covered in terms of writing the test cases and which one is pending. That time like confusion might occur, and it is very difficult to track each and everything. So this RTM, what it will provide, it will give you the clear cut idea like whatever modules you have covered in terms of writing the cases, and which are all modules is pending. So at the end you will be able to know like, okay, these modules are pending, and you can pick that and start writing cases for that. Okay, so how it looks like. So if I'll share my slide here, huh? So here if you will see RTM, how RTM looks like, again like it's up to company which kind of template or how the template they wanna create, because again this template is very simple, and it doesn't mean like the same kind of template is going to use by every company. They can create their own template, they can add multiple fields if they want, and they can customize it. So it is the one of the simplest template which I am sharing here. So again, it's not the something which is fixed for every company. Okay, and whatever I'm like teaching here in terms of agile methodology, like logging bugs, the different stages of bugs and RTM and all, test case template, everything is like customizable. It totally depends upon the company how they want to maintain, and they can again reduce the number of columns in the the template on, they can add also. So it's up to them. Okay. So here, if you will see, requirement number is nothing but the some random numbers, or suppose if you have the requirement number in terms of the like points, like suppose if you have a thousands of requirement and you have given the point like 1, 2, or 3, so you can directly mention that requirement number here, and respective to that requirement number, what exactly that requirement says, you can mention in the second column. So requirement description is nothing but uh, you can assume like it's a module. So suppose if the login module is having 5 or 10 requirements, I'll just take the example here. Okay, let me add one more. Okay, so here suppose there is a requirement one, and in the requirement one, this was related to login, or you can mention like password should be password should not more than 10 digits you have mentioned. Okay, this is the first requirement. Now second requirement you have given like requirement 2, and it is given home page should contain username. Okay, suppose this is the second requirement. Like that, there is a multiple requirements, like you can mark requirement 3 and then requirement 4, like that. Okay, so here if you will see, yeah, so here if you will see, you will be having the requirements like that. Okay, and once you will read this requirement like password should not be more than 10 digits, what you will do in this RTM, you will mark the requirement number here, and that module says like this requirement is related to what? Related to login page. So requirement description will be login page, and it's not like there will be only one requirement. For login, there might be multiple requirements, so you can mention the requirement numbers here, like instead of one number there will be multiple requirement numbers, and all the requirements will be indicating to the same module, and that module name you can mention under the requirement description section. And for that specific module, how many cases you have written. So suppose this password should not more than 10 digits is one requirement, and you have written almost 10 to 12 cases. Okay, including all the positive and negative scenario, positive and negative flows. So negative flows again, like try to give the more than 10 digits password, try to give the valid password, try to give some alphanumeric in the password, try to give less than 10 digit password. Okay, try to add the space in between the password. Every negative and positive uh, test case you will be covering here, and all the test case will have a test case ID. Okay, so while writing the test case, there will be test case ID, and that ID you can directly map here. Like test case ID section, you can mark TC01 means test case 1, 2, 3. So in that way you can mark it here. And the status again, this is the like end goal. So while creating the RTM, it might happen like the status of that test cases will not be there, because obviously RTM will just ensure you whether you have written the cases for each and every module or not. Once that is done, then only the execution will happen, and you can mark the status of each and every test case here, pass or fail. And if it is fail, there will be the link of your bug which you have link of the bug which you have raised in the tool. Okay, how to raise, I'll just show you. So now this is the RTM how we prepare. So in that way, like you will be ensuring which are all modules you have received in terms of requirement, how many cases you have added, what is the test case ID for that. Suppose there is some test case, there is some requirement which is mentioned here. Suppose home page should contain username. This is the requirement, and here you are mentioning the requirement ID, and you got to know like test case for that specific homepage module is not written. That's why test case ID you are not able to get. So in that way, you will come to know, okay, this module you have missed, and now you have to write the test case for that. And you will make a note of it, and you will start writing the cases for homepage. And again, you once the writing is done, you will add all the test case IDs here. So in that way, you will make sure like you are not, forgetting to add any test case for any module. Okay, so this is like the RTM, and this helps us to track the, our test cases against the modules, which are all shared in terms of requirement. Great. So let me, yeah, let me share the second tab. Here, if you will see, this is the Jira tool. I'll tell you like what are all important terminologies people use while filing the bug, and what exactly the Jira tools, and what are all basic terminologies here. So I hope my this screen is also visible, like Jira tool. If you will see here, Jira software is written and it is visible. Just give me the confirmation, guys. Is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Yes, I can see.
Great, great, great. Fine. So this is one of the tool where we, log our defects, and also we maintain our task also, means whatever task we are performing day by day. Okay. And this is not only one tool which every company, use, means every companies are, means not using the same tool. There are multiple tools in the market. There is Rally is one tool, and Bugzilla is a one tool, Jira is a tool. Some companies use, Trello also. And previously we used to log all these bugs in the Excel. So it totally depends upon the company which tool they are, using and they prefer. So now here, if you will see, we have this Jira board. So what this board does, like again, it's also customizable. If you will click here, plus icon, and you can add your, the different columns also. So it's again is up to company how they want to maintain. So what I did here, if you will see here, we have a column like to do, in progress and done. Okay. So this is nothing but the same thing. If I'll go through my slide here. So if you will see here, in our bug life cycle, we have this different status, right? So if you want, you can maintain all the status here in the Jira, like in the Jira dashboard, or if you want the specific, the status also, you can maintain. So this is nothing but to tell like how many bugs you have raised, how many is fixed, how many is closed, and how many you have verified. So all the tracking of that bugs will be here. And not only that, like if you are a tester, you have to create your task, which task you are performing, like day by day, and how many tasks you have completed throughout the sprint. Everything will be maintained here. Now let me clarify what is task, what is epic, what is user story, and what is a sprint. So these are all terms you will be hearing if you are using any, any kind of a bug tracking tool. So Epic is nothing but it's a kind of, the repository in the sense, suppose if I'll show you where exactly the Epic will be. So here, if you will click on the timeline, you will come and see here, create Epic. So once you will click here, Epic, here you can give the Epic name. Suppose I will give the Epic name like Gmail F phase 1. Okay, so now this is the Epic. So Epic in the sense like it will contain all the requirements, like it is the repository which will contain all kind of requirements shared by the client. Okay, so here inside that Epic, you can add the number of requirements. So if you will say like here, see here, create snooze feature. This is the one Epic I have created, and here these are all number of list of requirements you can mention. Okay, so Epic is nothing but the high level repository where you are creating the Epic and you are mentioning the high level requirements inside that. Okay, so high level requirements will be in terms of user stories. Okay, user stories means, suppose I'll take the example here. Suppose if, 1 minute. Okay, so here suppose okay, suppose we have this requirement 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all the requirements. So what I will do, I will create one epic. Okay, I will give the name of epic like suppose Gmail app phase 1. And inside that, what I will do, I will create the user stories. Okay, so user story I will create, and each user story will say like about this requirement. Okay, so user story 1 will contain the requirement 1. Okay, it will contain the requirement 1. Similar goes like user story 2 will contain the requirement 2. User story 3 will contain the requirement 3, like that. Okay, so this user story will tell about the requirement, like deeply I will be adding everything inside that user story, so that if anyone will come and see this user story, they will come to know, okay, what exactly the requirement is. Okay, and the name of the user story will be like same. The requirement one, instead of requirement one, what will be the name of user story one? The name will be password should not more than 10 digits. This will be the user story name. And again, same goes for others, like user story 2 will be home page should contain username, like that. Okay, so first will be epic, then inside that there will be the user stories. And now suppose I have created user story 1 with the name like password should not be more than 10 digit. This is the requirement 1. Inside that, what I will do, I have to create the task. Okay, because obviously the user story one will say the high level idea like, okay, what exactly this user story is, what exactly the requirement is. Now the developer will start picking this task, and he or she will be developing like day by day. So every day they will be doing some tasks. So they will be creating one task, and not only one task, they will be creating multiple tasks here. Suppose task one and the task 2 they will be creating on the day basis. And here task 1 they can mention like the name of the task what they have done. Okay, so suppose task 1 I can mention develop password field. That's it. Okay, so in the task 1, what developer has done, only the field, only that section has developed. Password section has developed. Okay, password section in the sense like password text will come inside that. It will be showing like some example of passwords and the field of the password. That's it. Okay, this validation is not added like more than 10 digits should be applicable or not. So suppose that is the second task, like validation of password range. So now this is the second task. So as for the test for the developer, this task is already created. Now again, it's up to the company whether the same kind of task they want to create for the testers also or not. Okay, suppose for the tester also, for each and every dev task, company want to wants to create a one task. So again, here inside the task there is one more option that is known as subtask. Okay, so for a QA, again here for the QA, you can create your subtask here against this task, and here subtask is nothing but you have to verify whatever development is done by the developer. Okay, so you will have your subtask here again for the task 2, you can maintain one subtask here. Okay, so here this is the QA task. You can mention the QA task, and your responsibility will be verify whatever development is done. Okay, so here what we saw, there is one epic which will contain the entire requirements collection, and inside that epic there will be the user stories which will tells about the specific requirement. Inside the user story there will be task will be again for the developers to create the specific feature day by day, and logs everything in terms of task. Now in terms of subtask, QA responsibility to pick that development and start verifying whether it is feasible or not. And again, after this, suppose this subtask is completed and everything is working fine, as a tester you have to mention everything in the tickets. So now I will show you like how we are maintaining and how we do. And what if you are filing defects? Suppose while testing this while testing this developed task, you found like one issue and you have to raise it. So what you will do, you can create bug also here, and this bug you can directly map either with this subtask or directly with this task. Okay. And make sure you are understanding like everything will be linked to each other. Like this user story will be linked with this epic, this task will be linked with this user story, this subtask will be linked with this task, and this bug also will linked with the subtask. So everything will be linked together, so that you will come to know which epic the developer is working, how many user stories have been created, how many tasks are there, and whether the QA has verified that task or not, and in terms of testing, how many bugs have been logged for that specific task. Everything will be there on the Jira tool. Okay, so if you will see here how we can log the bugs again, like if you will see here, you are not seeing the option user story here, right? So I think it is not added in the list. Let me check one minute. Issue type. Okay, so as of now, if you will see, I had only task and subtask. If you will click on add, now you can add this bug and the story also. So let me add this bug. Now this bug will come in the option, and now I can add this story also. So now I will have a 4 types of issues. So yeah, one more thing, like in the Jira tool, everything will treat as an issue only. Like if you are creating epic, that will become a one issue. If you are creating bug, that will become one issue. That issue doesn't mean like bug. So everything like in the Jira is logged in the terms of issue. So if we are saying like we have created one issue, it doesn't mean like we have created one bug. That means it might be epic, bug, story or task or subtask in the Jira. So now let me come to the board. So now if you will create here, if you will, okay, now if you will create any task here, sorry, if you will click in the plus icon, so this is what? This is the user epic. Inside the epic, if you are seeing, these are all tasks. So you can add task also, or user story also. As I said, it's a customizable, but what is best practice is always use the user story. So if you will click here, story, now you can add whatever the example I have given to you, you can add it here. Okay, and after adding, suppose as of now I am just giving the some example random demo. Okay, so now this is nothing but this is the user story. If you will click here, you will see like this right side, or let me just open it. Yeah, so now if you will see, this is nothing but the user story. So you have created here, demo is what? Demo is the epic which you have created. Inside that, if you will see this KAN9, it's nothing but the user story you have created. Now it's up to you whatever things you want to add. So if you will see here, whatever things I have added here in the user story, so this will be the user story heading. Okay, password should not more than 10 digits. This will be the user story heading. Inside that, you can add the description, what exactly that user story tells, or what exactly that requirement tells. Everything you can mention there. If you want, you can mention the link also of that requirement. You can mention the attachment also. Everything you can mention here. Okay. Now inside that user story, if you will see here, inside that user story, you can create task also, subtask also, right? So now you are inside the user story. If you will click on create here, now see here, you are seeing these options, right? if you will click again, I'll show you. If you will click on this create option, it will show you like which one is the project. This is nothing but your epic which you have created. And here if you will see like either you want to create tasks. Sorry, this one is not epic, this one is the project. See, this demo is the project which we have created. So the hierarchy will be like your project name will come first. Inside that project, this one is the epic. Inside the epic, this one is the user story. So demo, and this can2 is your epic, and inside that epic you have this user story. Now if you want to create task in the user story, you can go here. Okay, here if you want to create task, just select the option task and give your summary. Okay, so you can mention your summary here, anything. Suppose I'm giving them, let me use the same summary here. 1 minute. So I'm creating task now, and let me use the same summary here. Okay, now description, you can mention anything. So valid description, like if you are creating this a development password field task, that time description about this specific task, what you are going to perform while developing this application, everything as a developer you can mention here. Okay, now obviously this task is for developer. Okay, so here you will have options. As of now it is showing my name. So suppose if you have the access of this board, and suppose in the company in which, sorry, in the company if you are working, and they will be having one Jira board, and they will be adding your names. Okay, they will provide you the access, your names also will come here. So you can assign this directly to yourself, because obviously you are going to take care of this task. Labels, as I said, like okay, these things are nothing but, as I was discussing here, like the different fields, right? Uh, okay, I think it's moved a little bit far. Okay, leave that. Actually, what I was discussing, like there are few things like assignee, label, and reporter, priority, attachment, description. Everything will be there in the Jira tool. I was discussing in the beginning of the class. So this is nothing but the same. Assignee will be here, and labels also you can add. Labels in the sense like, suppose as of now labels are not created here, but labels in the sense, suppose this is specific for the home module, this task is. So the label you can create for a home, like for home module, you can create label as a home module, so that if someone want to filter how many tasks has been created for the home modules, directly they can filter it with the label. Okay, parent in the sense like, parent here nothing but obviously means what I said in the beginning, I will be creating this task for the specific user story, right? Or I will be creating this task for the epic. So again, it's up to you whether you are directly creating task for epic or a first user story for epic. So here that task, sorry, that user story or epic will be act as a parent. Okay, so because this is task will be linked, as I said, it everything will be linked to with each other. So here you can select your epic, or which epic this task is gonna again gonna add, right? Again, attachment is something what, something is like, if you have some attachment specific for that requirement, you can add it here. So that attachment will be like some the design, like what exactly the look and feel will be for that specific login feature, or for that specific the login field or password field. Okay, so what it how it will be look like. So the same thing you can mention here as an attachment, so that developer will easily get to know how the development should happen. Okay, and again, these are all nothing. These are all not important. Okay, fine. So now once you have added everything, if you will say here status, so status is nothing but like whatever you have seen in the like on the Jira board, in progress and done. As of now, these two status I have added. You can add multiple status, and that status is nothing but, few minutes back we were discussing like new, assigned, open, retested, all the bug statuses you can mention here. Okay, So since it is not bug, but this is not a bug, this is a task, but this status will be applicable for everything, whether it task, user story, or your bug. Okay, for everything we use this Jira board. Okay, so now in progress, if as of now I'll mark in progress, that means this task is already picked and developer is working on it. I'll just create, and now this task will be getting created. Copy link. So if you will see here, as I said, everything will be as an issue. So this is one issue we have created. And now this issue is like develop password field. This one task has been created. Okay. Now what I want to say here, like we have created one demo project. Inside that there is one epic, and inside the epic we have directly created task inside the epic. If you want, you can create inside the user story also. Okay, now I'll show you like how to create defect, because as a tester, what is our priority task here on Jira board? We will be creating our defects here. So same, like just click on create, and here if you will see, there is one option like bug. So once you will click on bug, you will see the status. As I said, we have a multiple status. So as of now, I have added two. Suppose if there is a status new, you can directly mention new. Okay, for example, I'm just mentioning to do as of now. Summary, you can mention anything, like suppose if you have a issue in the home page or login page, suppose. So you will mention as a login page, and here you will mention valid credential is not working. That means you are not able to log in with the valid username and password. And description, you can mention inside the description what you have to mention: reproducible steps. So here I was saying like each and every steps you have to mention here what test data you have used, everything. So in terms of test data, you have to mention prerequisite. So here whatever test data you have used, okay, so what you have to mention, your test data, your environment, you have to mention environment in the sense which browser you have used. Okay, what was your operating system, everything you can mention. Test data means what was your username, password you have used. Okay, and again here in the steps, what you have to mention, whatever steps you have followed, everything you have to mention. And that will give the clarity to the dev, like okay, whether it's a valid bug or not. Okay, so everything, every steps you have to mention. So actually here I have typed, but it went, I think, left side. Fine, so here every steps you have to mention. So suppose if you have to mention like launch the app, and launch the app, and here you can mention like log enter the valid username and password, click on login button. Okay, so what you have to assume, like you have to assume like developer does not understand anything, so you have to tell each and everything. Even this is very simple steps you have to mention, so that anyone will come to know about it. Once they will see this, like they will come to know, okay, this is the actual issue which testers are facing. So don't assume like they will be awareing like how to launch the app and all, everything. No, everything you have to mention here. So steps you will be mentioning here, your prerequisite you will be mentioning here. Here will be the valid username and password you will be mentioning. Okay, and here, sorry, inside test data you will be mentioning environment. Suppose I'll say Mac OS and Safari browser. You have mentioned steps, you have mentioned. Okay, and make sure you are mentioning your actual result and expected result. So actual result is nothing but what exactly you have observed while testing this, while going through this steps, and what is your expectation. So expectation is nothing but what is there in the requirement. Okay, so expectation means what client was expecting here, means what was the client expectation here, and actual means after development what actually is happening. Okay, so based on this actual and expected result only, you can say it's a valid bug because the expectation is not meeting the the, or it is not as it is the actual result. Now here assignee means, as I said, like you can directly mention the developer name if you are aware. If not, if you are a fresher in the company and suppose the lead or manager is reviewing your logged bugs, you can directly assign it to your manager, and it will go to the manager, and manager will reassign it to the developer. Labels again, you can create the labels like either it's a home page level or a login level in the sense, again the module wise, if this bug is related to the login page, if you will click here, the one option will come as a login. So suppose if you are creating, let me create one. So now login new level. So let me just create a new level. So now if you will see here, login level is created. So if you will click here, sorry, I deleted by mistake. Okay. So now if you will see here, this login is created. So now suppose if it is for home page, you can directly create like you will type your home page, and if it is not there in that list, it will show as a new label. And once it is created, it will show in the drop down. Okay. So now the login label you have created, and the parent ticket, again you can mention your epic from here, for which epic you are creating this, means for which epic the task is linked, and what bug you are trying to mention, okay, for that specific module. So you can just add your epic. So as of now, I'll just add any random one, Gmail app, let me add it. Okay, fine. So reporter is again assignee and reporter, these two will be here. A reporter is nothing but it will by default will come your name. So your name in the sense, like once you are creating this defect and you are the valid user on the Jira board, you have already logged in with username and password, your username will be coming here. So it will show like you are the user who have created this issue. Attachment, again you have, if you have any attachment, you can directly add it here. Okay, if you don't have, then it's difficult because it will give you the clear idea. Sometimes what happens, like some bug is reproducible once or twice, not very frequently. Okay, so very frequently in the sense, like some bug is occurring once or twice, and for certain time again it is not coming, and after some time again it is it is coming. That means it is coming very frequently and it is not reproducible all the time. So that time if you have attachment, you can say like, okay, see, this is my valid observation, because suppose if once you are trying, it is visible, but once the developer trying to again reproduce the same step, it is not visible and that bug is not coming. That means they might feel like your observation is not correct. So in that case, if you have attachment, you will be having valid point like, okay, this bug is valid one, and you have already the attachment. And here the linked issue in the sense, like if suppose that issue is already, this issue is already, yeah, so this issue is already the part of the previous issues. Yeah, you have already created multiple issues before, you can directly add those issues here. So if this is the child issue of any parent issue, you can directly add it here, and that will link together. Okay. Okay. So here, let me give this as an example also. So suppose here it is showing like linked issues blocks. So if you will click here, you will see the multiple options. Okay. So as I was saying, like all the issues will be correlated to each other. You will see like this linked issue is showing these many options. So if I'll click on the relates to, and if I'll click on the select issues, here it will say like multiple tasks and the user story which we have created. Okay, so I am logging this bug for a specific task, right? For the developer task. So as I said, if you want to create the bug directly attaching with the user story you can do, you can directly attach with the epic, you can directly attach with the task. So it's up to you. So I am adding it with the developer task. So what it will show, once the developer will open the task, he will come to know that this bug is assigned to me and this is respective of this module. So what I did, I have relates this bug with this task, which is the developer task. Okay, now I have added everything. Let me create. Okay, copy the link and view the issue here. So this task, sorry, this bug I have created, and you will see here, this icon you can observe, this is nothing but a bug. So what bug says, like login page valid credential is not working. Now I'll come here as a developer, I'll see like, okay, the prerequisite is this steps are this, actual and expected result you will be mentioning here. Same as a developer I will be following. Okay, and if there is some attachment, the attachment also will come under the attachment section, but as of now I don't have. And here if you'll see in the to do section, it will come as a like if it is new, it will come as a new here, and once the development will start, developer will start it, developer will mark it as a in progress bug. So developer will mark in progress, that means it is started and it is picked by the developer. Okay, so yeah, and if you'll come to your Jira board. Okay, so now if you will see here, let me close everything. Yeah, now if you will see here, this is the bug which is coming under the in progress section. So if you will say this is the in progress column here, if you are seeing this bug is under the in progress section. So once the developer will complete this bug, and suppose this bug is closed, as of now I don't have that option here. So suppose here I'm changing the status. So this status suppose might be anything. So I'm changing the status, and once I'll change the status, directly it will move to the other section. So in that way, what will happen, like management will come and see here how many bugs are closed, how many is in progress, how many is open. So in that way they can track the year. And let me go inside the task. So actually the task which I have created here, demo 9. Okay, so this task actually I have created in, let me pull here. Okay, so I'll go inside this bug, and if I'll see, actually I have created this task, sorry, this bug for the task key en10. Okay, so let me modify it. So by mistake, actually I have created for the wrong one. If I will add this bug for this KAN9, then it will come here. So let me try to add. Actually, I have already fixed it. So 1 minute. This is demo. Let me create some random tasks, random bug. I'm just mentioning everything randomly because, and here see, now the login label is coming because I have created this login label earlier. So now let me add the issue here. So related issue will be like relates to, and I'll make can9 and I will create. So what I want to show here, like I have created issue, and once the developer will click on the task, that issue will come here. See, so as a developer, I will be coming and checking my user story, my task, and inside that developer will come to know, okay, this is the bug which is raised, and developer can directly click on it and start looking into this issue. So it will directly map to this user story, or you can directly add the task also. And how we can map it with the task, again the same process. While creating the bug, if we will see, like in the link section we used to get. Okay, so let me, this is for key 9. Okay, great. So here if you will see, relate to, and here inside the drop down you can see like whether you want to create this issue with the user story, or you want to create this with the task. So anything if you want you can use it, and similar way it will be visible there and it will get linked. Okay, so yeah, this all about the Jira board, and if you want, you can also create. So what you have to do, just directly type like go and type here like Jira tool download, and click on the first link. Okay, you will get like this screen, and here you can give your email ID and then click on agree. I have already created, but you just click on agree and go next, and just keeps on adding like keeps on clicking on the next, and the Jira board will come. And after that you can use the same process. Like once the Jira board will open, you will get like this. I mean, this UI will come, and again you can click on the timeline, create your epic here, create your add the user stories, add your task here, and you can just do practice. So this all about the Jira tool. So yeah, we have completed everything like RTM we have completed, and Jira tool also we have seen. So yeah, this all about today's class, and we have completed our like functional testing concept. So now we are, I think we should be able to, in a position to give the, the answer related to the functional question. So till now whatever we discussed, if you guys have any doubt, any query, you can just ask, or if you guys want to take some time, okay, you can take time, you can come in the next class with your doubts, and we'll try to resolve that first, and then we'll move to the next topic. So as of now, any doubt, any query do you guys have, Uka and Vinita?
Hi, yeah, I'm John.
Okay, fine. Uka, for you?
I'm good.
Great. Fine. Yeah. So that's all for for today. Thanks, guys. And I hope
Thank you.
you guys will be going through the recordings and will, come up with your doubts,
Yes.
and whatever doubts you have, please come up.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.